Hey guys, so I wanted to make a quick video that shows the features of the Prosport boost gauge. When you turn on the car, this is the opening ceremony. The gauge has a few options which you can adjust. You can change the color by pressing the set button. To white, blue, and then back to red. Traditionally, I find that at night, the red setting or the orange setting is much better on the eyes. It's less bright. And during the daytime, I like the white setting because it's brighter and easier to see in the sunlight. The set button not only adjusts the color, but you can also set your peak boost. What that means is, depending on where you set this dial to, when your car reaches that amount of boost, it will give you a visual and audible signal. So right now, let's go ahead and take a look at where we're set at. You push and hold the set button, and right now we're set to 5 pounds of boost. You can increase that by pushing the peak button to go higher, or pushing the set button to go lower. I'm going to stick with 5 pounds of boost. My kit is rated for about 10, but around town I'm not really going to speed that fast. So, alright, so now we're set. The peak button, if you go ahead and hold this down, will give you brightness adjustments during the day and at night. So if you want to set the brightness during the day, go to your headlights, make sure that they're turned off, and then hold down the peak button till you see the halo around the gauge start to blink. Alright, now let's go ahead and set our brightness. Set will bring the brightness down. Peak will bring the brightness up. I want it at full brightness during the day, and we're going to leave it there. Okay, now to set the brightness at night, go to your headlight switch, turn the headlights on. And now let's go ahead and adjust the brightness of the screen again. Hold the peak button until the halo starts to blink. And then at night, I may want to have this at a lower brightness because it's already dark outside. Okay, so now I should be seeing two different levels of brightness depending on whether my headlights are turned on or off. So let's go ahead. Let me set this to the orange color because it's easier to see. Okay, so headlights are turned on, and if we look at the gauge, it should get brighter when I turn the headlights off. There you go. The gauge gets brighter. Gauge gets darker. Headlights off. Headlights on. All right. And if you want to go ahead and just leave the brightness on both, the same on both, just hold the peak button. I left my headlights on, and I'm going to turn it on to full brightness. I think there's about 8 levels of brightness that you can do with the kit. And if you notice, the great thing about this touchpad is you only have to touch the side of the pad in order to make those adjustments. All right, let's go ahead and start up the car and show you what the gauge looks like on startup. Obviously, we're not really moving right now, so we're just reading the vacuum. We're not actually making any boost. And since it's daytime, I like to use the white setting. All right, let's go ahead and go for a drive. All right, so we have our boost gauge set to 5 pounds of boost. The kit right now is pushing around 9.5 to 10. Around town, though, I'm not going to be driving that fast, so what we're going to look for is the hand on the gauge to hit around 5, and we're going to be listening for an audible sound to tell us that we've hit the 5 pounds of boost. On the whole, I really like how the gauges look, especially with this Accelerate dual gauge cluster. I think it's a nice combination. The font is great and the brightness is awesome. see, once we hit the 5 pounds, we had an audible sound, which is great. It helps keep your eyes on the road. You can turn off the audible sound if you'd like, and that way when you do reach the peak boost, the only thing that you're going to be seeing is a flashing light, which usually appears on this white dot here or on the small circle here in the gauge.